Hi guys, I'm so happy to be able to be back here with you with lesson number 3. I know the first 2 lessons were an awful lot of talking, and I'm going to try to minimize that as much as possible as we go forward. First thing I want to mention to you is that if you have any questions that you want to ask me, if you could write them down and give them to Officer Alfaro, or make sure that ask somebody to get them to Officer Alfaro. She will get them to me, and I will try to answer your questions in another DVD as we keep going on with this. If you have any comments or things that you'd like me to do or like to see, or things that you're happy with that I'm doing, please also write those down and let me know, and I'll try to either do more of what you want to see and less of what you don't want to see. We'll try to work something out, okay? Because I can't get your feedback in real time. It's a little hard for me to know what you are thinking. We'll start today like we start every day. We ask our 2 questions. First question is, how am I feeling about training today? If you were doing the training, I would ask you to ask yourselves that question. And the answer is, I'm really excited. We have sunshine finally. It's been raining an awful lot, and it's nice to be able to get the dogs outside and work with them outside. So I'm really happy to be able to be here, be training with them, working with them, and doing that in front of the camera for you guys. The next question is, how are the dogs feeling today? Well, I'm going to take one of them out. I have Lucy and Oscar here with me again today, and we'll see how they're feeling. All right, give me 1 second. I'll be right back. Oscar's feeling. I'm going to bring him over here so you can see him. You know how Lucy's feeling. She's feeling a little jealous, right? She wants to be out here with me. So, what do you see when you look at Oscar? I see a dog that's sitting here staring at me going, when are we going to work? Oh, now he's sniffing. Why is he sniffing? Because he's like, get on with it. It's time to work. So, let's see if he's really ready. Are you ready? Are you ready? Yeah, I think he might be ready. I think he might be ready to play. I think he might be ready to play. And play for him is work for me. It's kind of we call everything that we do a form of play. Every type of training is a form of play. Okay, so I'm going to start out with something really basic. We did this in the first lesson, and that is eye contact. Yes, he's looking at me. I'm going to give him a treat. You remember I was holding the treats in the first lesson, and I learned my lesson there that didn't work so well. Yes. So see, I waited for him to look up at me, and it's very hard for you, I'm sure, to see that on camera. Yes, but I can see it. Now, I want to increase the difficulty a little bit because he's done this quite a bit. And there's 3 ways I can increase the difficulty. We call that the 3 Ds. Distance, duration, or distractions. I can add one of those things. In this case, I'm going to add a little bit of duration, which means I'm going to add a little bit of time that I'm going to ask him to look at my eyes. Yes. So see, I waited just a little bit longer. I don't have to wait too much longer because I don't want to make it too hard to begin with. Yes. And I'm counting in my head to about 2 seconds. I'm counting 1, 2. Yes. Because I don't want him looking away before I say yes. Yes is my marker word, and it's how I mark that or tell him that he has done something good. Yes. See if we can get his eyes more in there. Yes. Now I'll vary that time. I'll make it easier, I'll make it harder, but I'm going to settle on about 2 seconds for this lesson. Yes. Count along with me if you can see his eyes. Yes. And I'll say yes right after I hit that 2 second mark so that he knows that he's doing a good job. All right. Also in the first lesson, we played a game called Treat Toss, and I realized that you couldn't see him running to go get the treat or Lucy running to go get the treat. Now he's nose punching me. That's what I call that, when he punches his nose to my pocket. Why do you think he might be doing that? That's where I keep my treats. If I'm not wearing a bait bag, that's where I keep my treats. And so he knows that, and he's asking for treats. But I don't like that so much. Sit. What did I just ask for when he jumped up on me? It's an incompatible behavior. He cannot jump if he's sitting. Good boy. Why did I give him a treat there? Because he sat. Sit. Yes. And I marked it there that I want that sit, not that I want the jump up. Now I want it to jump up. That's his cue to jump up. And notice I use the word cue, not command. Command makes it sound like it's something he has to do, and well, I want him to do it. He doesn't actually have to do it. I'm not going to force him to sit when I ask him to sit. Sit. Good. I used good as a marker there. I can use good, I can use yes, I can use any word that I choose, and mine are usually good and yes. So, okay, back to the treat toss. Why do we do this treat toss game? Well, it's a beginning of a recall. And since he won't leave my side right now because we are working or playing, I am going to toss a treat and have him, and he just nose punched me again. He's being kind of pushy, isn't he? It's kind of obnoxious. Sit. Not something that I'm particularly fond of. It is something that he does. He is a very pushy dog. Down. So I used what he was starting to do as a behavior to ask him to do, which he was starting to go down, and I wanted him to just keep his mind. It's hard for him when I'm talking to you to be a good dog and just wait. So anyway, we're back. Sit. Good. I'm not rewarding him for jumping. I'm rewarding him for doing what I'm asking him to do after he's jumped up on me. Wait. So the treat toss game. We're going to toss a treat. When he gets to the treat at the beginning stages and is eating the treat and starts turning back to me is when I would ask him to come to me. And that's the beginnings of a recall, or when I call him back to me. Ready? Action. Oscar. Okay, so I didn't do that correctly. I waited a little bit too long, and I didn't say his recall word. I just said his name. For some dogs, the name can be the recall word, but I like to have the recall word be come. So I'll do it again. Oscar, come! Yes! Now notice I'm marking it with a pretty happy, excited yes, that he's turned back to me and is coming at me at full speed. We'll do that again. Action. Oscar, come! Yes! That's a little, sit, wait. He knows this game, so it's pretty easy for him. So I'm going to add something to this. Now, what can I add? Remember, I can add distance, duration, or a distraction. Well, I could toss the treat a little bit further. I could add a distraction, or I could add a duration. Here I'm going to try to toss the treat a little bit further. So here we go. Action. Oscar, yes! I'm also going to wait till he gets a little bit closer to me, so he doesn't have a chance, so he has more of a chance to get distracted on his way back, to come all the way into me. I want him to come about this distance to me. So I'm going to wait to say yes, my marker word, until he gets to me. And I'm saying a word action, which tells him that he's allowed to move from this position. It could be yes, it could be free. I just happen to use action. Sit. Good. Action. Oscar, come! Yes! Now I'm saying yes as he's starting to come back on that because it was pretty far tossed. Whoop. Cookie. Action. Oscar, come! Yes! Good boy. Now I'm going to reward him every time that he comes back to me, no matter what. And I'll do that for the life of a dog. And that's because the recall to me is such an important behavior to teach. I want my dogs to come back to me and come back to me quickly no matter what. And that's a safety reason. I work with them in the front of the house. I want to make sure that they can be called off of just about anything. We've had coyotes in our backyard, and I've been able to call them back to me when I see a coyote in the backyard. That's safety. I don't want them to get hurt. Down. Good boy. Okay, I'm back here with Lucy, and I've got to ask the same question of Lucy. Is she ready to work for me? How is she feeling today? What do you guys think? Do you think she's ready to work? What gives you a clue? My first clue is that she's staring directly in my eyes, and she's got that look where she was ready to come at me. Now she's coming at me. So I think she's ready to work. So we're going to try the eye contact game with her too, and I'm going to keep my hands out of my pocket because it seems to be distracting for her. Yes! She also knows this game, so we're going to wait for that 2-second mark as well. Yes. Yes. I'll count it out loud for you guys with her. 1, 2. Yes. Now notice, she's looking to my pocket as soon as I say yes. She knows what's coming, and that's okay with me. I want them to know that I'm going to pay them for working with me. 1, 2, 3. Yes. I'm going to vary the duration with her a little bit more than I did with Oscar. She's 1. Yes. So that time I went easier. We want to mix it up. We want to be a little bit random in it. It helps to teach it a little bit better. It helps them to learn it a little bit better. 1, 2, yes. And that's the counting that I want you to be able to do when you're working with a dog. Now, when we first started it, it would have been yes, as soon as she looked at me. Yes. But now we can go 1, 2, 3, yes. I probably could have gone longer, but there's no reason to right now. We're just reinforcing something, teaching her to keep at it. Before we finish up today, I want to give you a little bit of homework. I want you to work on your timing of your marker cue, which is that word that we use to mark when the dog has done exactly what we want them to do. And to do that, I use a tennis ball. I don't know if you have access to any balls this small. Maybe the basketball out in the courtyard, or we could also use a paper towel. I'll show you how to do it with both of those. That would be the towels that you dry your hands with. So here, with a tennis ball, what you would do is every time the ball hits the ground, I want you to say yes or good. And you can do that with your basketball. Yes, 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 yes. Just like that. Now to do it with the paper towel is a little bit easier because paper towels doesn't bounce. So you want to say it as soon as the paper towel hits the ground. Yes. Yes. Because it doesn't bounce, it really is quite a bit easier. The other thing you could do is if you're working with somebody in pairs, not too close to one another, but if you're working with somebody else, you could say yes every time they blink their eyes. So it would look something like this. Yes. Yes. Or they could blink them faster, and you would have to say it faster. Made some funny faces there, right? Okay. I want you to practice that because timing is really important. If your timing is off, you may be telling the dog that they're doing something right when they're not actually doing something right. So if I said yes when Oscar was jumping on me earlier, but I really didn't want him to be jumping on me, what I wanted was his feet on the ground, then I would be rewarding him and telling him that he was doing that correctly. I hope that makes some sense. Final thing I want to do today, our closing, same way we close every single lesson, is one good thing. If you're in a group, I want you to try to think of one good thing that somebody else has done today. Something that makes you happy or makes you smile. Then I'd also like you to think of one good thing that you've done today. And I've said this before, it can be something as simple as brushing your teeth, reading a couple pages of a book, finishing your homework, doing your homework, or anything at all that makes you happy and makes you feel proud of yourself for today. And finally, I'd like you to think of one good thing that you've learned today in class, something that you found interesting, something you liked about this class. And as always, feel free to write down any questions or comments, get them to Officer Alfaro, who will get them to me, and I will try my very best to answer them or incorporate your ideas into future classes. Stay safe, stay healthy. I look forward to coming back soon, but in the meantime, I will be sending in a lesson or two every week for you to watch and hopefully enjoy. And try to throw some really fun stuff in there as well. I'm working on a few new ideas for you. I will see you as soon as possible. Have a good day, good week, and we'll talk soon.